Hey, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. Is it Tuesday already? It is. Whoa, my camera's actually pretty low. Sorry, Zoom stuff earlier today where I was kind of sitting down and standing up and who knows what's going on. How's it going? It still feels like I'm close, so I'm gonna stand far back. Feels a little bit like I'm way too close. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? Man, oh man, and people in here early? Chatting it up? Hey, thanks. Also, there were some follows like right before and they still keep rolling in, so I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, first of all, yeah, how are you guys doing? What's going on? What are you working on? That's what I want to know. What are you working on? What problem are you trying to solve? What can I help with, if anything? And yeah, did you finish everything up from the weekend? Did you not finish everything up? Did you start something new? Let me know. Nothing is an acceptable answer too, so we'll go with that. But real quick, so there were some follows right as I was going live or right before I did, I don't know which one. So Chanbo Monk, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. Sudo make me a sandwich, yeah. Hey, Sudo make me a sandwich. Thanks for follow, appreciate it, welcome. Turkaz, I'm going with Turkaz. How's it going? Thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. Dylan Royal Gaming, thanks for the follow, and Sunza123, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. So, man, how are you guys doing? What are you working on? Let's see, PC Geek, in here first. Thanks, dude, appreciate it. Yeah, man, how's it going? Hey-o, Takano, how's it going, man? Man, how are you doing? Man, is it Tuesday already? It is. I keep thinking I don't know, it feels like Monday to me. So much going on. Laser Streams. Hey-o, how's it going, Laser Streams? Hey, man, how's it going? How are you? D1 TV, I'm finally awake for another stream. Wow. So are you where are you located at? You're in the UK, right? Oh man, it's getting kind of late there. I don't know. Either that or you sleep in or have a different shift. I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know. D1 TV, D1T. I'm going with D1T. Starting to understand K3OS. Nice. Yeah, it's good luck. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I did it a while ago. So sorry, I didn't do K3OS. Did Rancher OS, but it's probably very similar. Where very locked down. Everything's kind of bootstrap for you, but you also have to, at the same time, you also have to, I think, use Cloud init. Cloud, yeah, I think so. You have to bootstrap some stuff yourself and mount it so it can read it for you, which is pretty cool. It's like immutable. Whoa, lots of lights going on. Hey, Turkaz, dude, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Thanks for the sub. How's it going? But yeah, it's I haven't done K3OS. I consider it every now and then, and then I'm like, maybe next time. But yeah, let me know how it's going. Laser Streams. I've been playing with K3S, all right, and writing a cube operator in Go. Nice. Writing it in Go too, man. Yeah, sweet. How's that going? I haven't wrote a cube operator at all. PC Geek, just being lazy. Hey, that's okay. It's totally okay to be lazy. I was feeling that kind of yesterday too. So still kind of feeling, I don't know, not normal today. I don't know. Last 3 days I haven't felt normal. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, dude, being lazy is okay, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Sunza123, just installed Portainer and trying to set up Docker Swarm. Nice. I've done 0 Docker Swarm, so you have to let me know how it's going. Familiar with Portainer, so yeah, I noticed Portainer had an update. I still haven't updated Portainer. I need to. I see new version. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. But nice, setting it up, trying to learn Docker Swarm. I like it. You'll have to let me know how it goes. I haven't done any swarm at all, period. So you have to let me know. D1 TV seems like a great tool. It boots in 10 seconds with a node up and running with Nginx pre-running. Nice. Yeah, nice. That's awesome. So K3OS, oh yeah. So you must have to bootstrap it with a cluster to join or start a new cluster, or whether it's an agent or not, and its role. Yeah, you probably have to bootstrap quite a bit, because I assume it's like there's not much I don't know this for sure. Maybe you can remote into it and initialize some commands. but how does it get its initial state? Maybe you just remote in. Yeah, but you'd have to have an SSH key and everything like that. Sorry, I've done similar things before with Rancher OS. So I'm like trying to apply what I know to Rancher OS or any like cloud init kind of OS and apply to that. But yet I haven't done it, so I should probably look into it. But yeah, sounds awesome. Holy Merc, hola, how's it going, man? How are you? D1 TV, yeah. K3OS is pretty sweet once you get the basics of it. Nice. Yeah, yeah. What OS does it even run on? What OS? I assume it's a base on Debian or something like that. Curious. Let me fix this really quick. I don't know why that's set there. Weird. What's going on with OBS today? Maybe that's right. Andy Bogdan. No, you did not. This is an old school trick, man. You didn't donate. You just changed your font to green. Yeah. Anyways, redeem my live message. D1 TV, can anyone link me a good documentation for K3OS commands to set server versus agent and token? Yeah, I assume Rancher has tons of that. Since they made it. Yeah, I assume they did. They do. But let me know. If not, I can totally link something in Discord. D1 TV, I was trying to do 3 servers, but that was giving me issues. I want to do 2 and 2 now. Okay, yeah, I mean, that should work. What was the problem with 3 versus 2? Because, I mean, 3 should work just like 2 should. Laser streams, are you familiar with Ansible at all? Yeah, I am. Done a little bit. D1 TV, I would follow Tim's way, but I want to try embedded at CD. Oh, you guys are talking about K3OS, so I'll go back to Ansible. Yeah, I mean, I've done a little bit of Ansible, somewhat. Did a video on it, and it's pretty cool. I'm still not. There's some concepts that I either don't agree with or don't understand. And that's parts of the roles, and me being like a programmer, I want to dry up all of Ansible. I want to dry it up and dry is a terminology for do not repeat yourself. And so I that's what I want to do in there. However, when I make roles, I start like repeating myself over and over and over with updates or with things that I want to apply that some of my other machines with the same roles have. And so I don't know, maybe I need to take a step back and do a little bit more reading. But what I want to be able to do is just call those individual, fragments of steps in these roles rather than copy and paste each entire, step that I want to run. So I don't know, maybe I need to do a little more reading. I end up just listing all my hosts, running each one of those commands against all my hosts rather than roles. So I'm probably doing it wrong. But at the same time, I hate repeating myself. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to like have a list of a role on a machine and list the same commands like 5 times for 5 different roles. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let me know if I am. Probably am. D1 TV, I would follow Tim's way, but I want to try embedded at CD. Yeah, I think we were talking about that last night in Discord. I don't see why that wouldn't work. It sounds interesting. I think we went through it last night in Discord. So we were talking about some of the differences between K3OS, and I think a couple of topics got brought up. One was just the cluster data store, and where does the cluster data store get stored? That was a lot of stores in one. But where does that get stored? Does that get stored outside of the cluster in something like MariaDB or MySQL or whatever? Or does that get stored inside the cluster, inside of the actual nodes? Using embedded at CD. And, truth be told, when I started out, I was just like, well, I have a MySQL database, totally fine with me. And I did some previous Rancher stuff before too, Rancher 1, and I had a MySQL database, and I realized that makes it really easy to back up, to restore, and plus I needed one less node. Not that it really applied because I got like 10. I don't know. I have so many nodes. But anyways, yeah, I would love to try embedded at CD too, because it sounds pretty interesting. And I think I mentioned this last night too. If I ever do K3OS on the edge, I'm totally going to do etcd, right? Because if you do it on the edge, like you probably don't want your database hanging out on the edge too, or you don't have a database on the edge, or you don't want to poke holes in a firewall and do those calls somewhere else, and you don't want to do them over the wire because those are super slow calls. Those over the network is the slowest call you can make. So anyways, yeah, I'm super excited. I'd like to do it too, but I was too chicken when I started out. Well, and I think some of that was still experimental too. But yeah, you'll have to let me know how it goes. Super interested. Because I think we found last night, like I was thinking to myself, like, okay, well, if you do that, like, how do you back it up? How do you back up K3OS if you're using embedded etcd? And I was thinking, and I was like, well, you just snapshot the node. That sounds like just a big, sledgehammer approach to like, yeah, just back up the whole thing. And then I think we found that you can mount that database, and they have commands to export the database. Oh, you don't have to mount it. I'm sorry. They have commands to export that database, the etcd database, to a file path on the node, which is awesome. And then I was like, okay, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I can get into this. But yeah, that was a lot about etcd. So I'm nothing against it. I want to try it. My first pass was with MySQL because I know MySQL. But yeah, D1T. Yeah, I'm super excited about it too. I'd like to hear how it works out for you too. Koyo Lilolo. Sorry. Let me know how to pronounce your name. There's a whole bunch of mispronunciations of your name. I'm gonna go with Koyo Leo. Koyo Leo. I'll go with that. Hey, T squared. I like how you got the infraction or the power. That's not a there's a name for those types of characters in text, and I thought it was some vulgar fraction. I don't know, but that's a power, so it's not a half like a fraction. But anyways, T squared. I like it. How's it going? Laser streams. Oh, etcd. Hello. It's a bit more complicated to set up. Is it harder to set up? I don't know if it's harder to set up. Let me know. I thought it might be easier, and I could be wrong. But there was like no additional stuff to do. I don't remember the setup. I know for MySQL way, there's a little bit extra you need to do because you need a database and you probably need a load balancer, and then you might need to cluster those things. But the etcd way, the internal etcd way, I thought it was just a flag. Could be wrong. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. Turkaz, sup dude? Yeah, I like it. Sup dude? Just found your channel on YouTube. Good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. How are you doing? Man, what can I help with? Man, new to the channel, just subbed. Yeah, thank you so much. Any feedback, any questions about anything that you're working on, or is there, what are you working on? What video led you there, or what challenges did you face? Because I'm super curious to know. I'm always curious to know that stuff. It's kind of hard to figure out sometimes, like what the entry point is, like what technology you're working on that led you here that I could possibly help with, or maybe not. Laser streams. If you're getting started with K3OS, I'd recommend just go to the general setup or maybe MySQL. Yeah. There's lots of good ways. Laser streams. Trying to live on the edge. All right. Yeah. So. Yeah, Edge, etcd. It sounds like we're kind of being tongue-in-cheek about saying living on the edge with etcd, but it's the Edge network. It's basically on the brim of the internet, or right between the internal network and the external network. But I like living on the edge. Yeah. Anyways, Alias. I need to pronounce. Oh man, you guys' names. I need to get better at pronouncing some of them. I'm going with Alias. I'm going with that. It's totally wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am, but let me know how you want me to pronounce it. But hello. How's it going? How are you? D1T. I'm in the US, but my sleep schedule is absolutely terrible. I hear you. Well, I mean, mine's probably, if yours is terrible, mine's probably not that bad because I'm up during the day and I sleep at night, but that has been shifting to where I'm just like up later and later and getting up later and later, or sometimes earlier. So I hear you. Life of a college student on break. Oh, I remember those. I remember those days. Stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning, just whenever you fell asleep, whenever you got bored. Yeah, I remember those days for sure. Salvarius, RGB Viking Helm. Wait, when? Yeah, about that. You know, it's, yeah. I need to look into it a little bit more. I saw, so the joke was that I don't even remember how it started, but somehow I was going to wear some RGB Viking helm, and that Viking helm then would light up with RGB colors. And I think it was posted somewhere in Discord. You know, I would, I'm not against it, but I want to be sure it's programmable. I want to be able to write the code for it. Not totally against it. But I would like to write the code for it, like my Raspberry Pi back there. So I wrote the code for that, and I was thinking like, okay, how can I wear that? So I was thinking like maybe I don't know, like some kind of chain around my neck with some big, you know, medallion piece and have it light up. I don't know. I have no idea, but I do want it to be cool. So if it is going to be something wearable and I can program it, I might do it, but we'll see. We'll see. And then I was like, maybe a shirt. I don't know. Like when you post that stuff, it sparked so many ideas. But the helm, good idea. But at the same time, it's like I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more than that. So yeah, appreciate it. Phantom Way. Just got into Rancher and Kube in general. Love it. Nice. Usually those words aren't used in the same sentence. I'm teasing. Not really. But yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, so Rancher, yep, and Kubernetes. That's awesome. I don't know what I was going to say about that. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know that when you get started, it can be super tough. And, you know, a lot of people get confused because, you know, Rancher kind of blurs the lines between what is Kubernetes and what is not, because a lot of it's abstracted from you, which is totally okay if you don't need to know what's going on behind the scenes. But I think like as you get a little bit deeper into it, then it's kind of like, which part is Rancher and which part's Kubernetes? So anyways, I'm glad you're enjoying it. The biggest takeaway is that like, hey, Rancher helps you manage Kubernetes. So underneath the coverage, you got Kubernetes, and you get one, well, there might be two clusters there when you start, but that's besides the point. But you can create more clusters very easily and manage them with Rancher, or you just manage one, or you just care about one. But yeah, glad you're enjoying it. Let me know how I can help, for sure. Oh, I'm new. How's it going, man? Good to see you, dude. Man, how was your paper going? I think last time you were here, you were working on parsing big data using regex. So how did that go? Hopefully it's going okay. K3OS. Okay, laser streams. You need a cloud in it. And that's all pre-configured. Awesome. My hunch was right, because I was thinking, you know, most of those OS, those distributions, you know, they're I don't want to say immutable, but they need to be bootstrapped with some information, usually an SSH key. So when you boot them up, you can SSH into it and then do more. And sometimes they are immutable, and they get their information from a Cloud init drive, right? You have some config on there. You start it up. The OS is immutable. It reads the thing, and then and then starts up. With that one, it might be a little bit different, unless you have an external data store, because how else would it store the data if it was immutable? But anyways, it definitely sounds interesting for sure. I'll have to check it out for sure. You can do stuff, but you need Cloud init. All right. I was kind of on track. I don't want to say I was guessing that one, but I've done similar things before. Here we go. Koyo Lilo. I'm so bad at this. Koyo Leo. Koyo Lee. I'm sorry. Just don't give me a hint. Working on in home chat, I think that is, with Rocket Chat. Running into issues with pfSense and HA proxy, not forwarding the domain. I've used Nginx proxy prior to upgrading to pfSense. Yeah, that's man, that can be tough. Hopefully, let me know. I haven't used Rocket Chat. I understand what it is, but yeah, that kind of stinks. Not forwarding the domain, so you're not getting any kind of incoming request, I assume. Well, let me know. I'm guessing now, but I assume that's what's going on. D1T. The K3OS visual install is supposed to be for testing. All the config is meant to be Cloud init from config files. Not totally sure what to do because I can't SSH in, like you said. Oh, interesting. I figured they would give you an SSH, like you would Cloud init an SSH key, then you can SSH in, but they must take it one step further, and they're like, nope, you're not even going to SSH in, because that's how you cloud init, you know, like Ubuntu or anything else like that does cloud init. Usually you mount an SSH key, and from there, then, you know, when you provide the key, it lets you in. But interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look at the docs to see, you know, if that's something you can do during cloud init. Yeah, let me know. Geek Masher. Hi, Tim from UK. All right, how's it going from the UK, man? It's getting late there. And I'm going to guess it's about +6 from here. So it's, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning there or something, pretty late. Well, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. John 5S at work. Installed Windows Server 2019. Nice. Getting ready to be a camera NVR server connected to iSCSI and SAN. Awesome. That sounds really awesome. I'm guessing if it's NVR, you're going Blue Iris. Just guessing. Trying to think, you know, there are very few people in this space that do it well, and they're definitely one of those. Geek Masher, hey, thank you so much. Thanks for the sub, appreciate it. All right, lights are going. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for the sub. Thanks for hanging out late too. It's late there. Oh, 1:23 a.m. you said after that. I was an hour off. Well, I thought that was the timestamp, but hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Staying up late, subbing, thank you. But John, so is it Blue Iris? It's probably Blue Iris. Either that or it's some like enterprise offering or something like that too. And how's Windows Server 2019? How's that doing? I haven't spun up a Windows Server since I think the last one where I had a legit key. Not that I've had illegitimate keys, but the last one where I had a real key, I think was 2016 or something. Oh man, sub, thank you so much. Toma, I'm gonna go with Tomon. Hey, thank you so much for the sub, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Prime sub, thank you so much. And one monkey Dieter, I'm going with that, DTR. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But man, I'm going with Timon. I cannot pronounce names tonight. I apologize, but thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, let me know about your MVR. Curious, because I've been doing MVR stuff for a long time, and I've made some popular choices and some unpopular choices. So let me know. You can if you get an SSH key with a CloudNet. All right, that's exactly what I was talking about. Ooh, maybe just use the use the GitHub key. Yeah. I mean, you wanna, you do want to use an SSH key that you're gonna, that it's not throwaway. Or maybe if you're just testing, maybe it is throwaway. But yeah, couldn't do 3 because I get this servers to join right now. Oh, because you don't have them. Okay, so these are physical then. Okay, if they're virtual, I was like, yeah, just throw in another one, especially if they're super lightweight like that, like K3OS. Yeah, just throw in another virtual or find a virtual one. You have a server somewhere, don't you? Maybe, kind of. ISO, it's 2:23 a.m. and listening while setting up a few Docker containers for some testing. Nice. What containers are you setting up? What are you testing? I tossed that out on Twitter today to see what people are using. I was really just kind of feeling it out, like, hey, here's some Docker containers I use. What do you use? Because I always like to know what other people are using, because then I get ideas. I'm like, yeah, why aren't I using that? Or why haven't I heard of that? I got some interesting ones coming back, so I'm curious which ones you're setting up. Because I always feel like, like maybe I'm missing out on that. Hey, whoa, hey, Dex Final, dude, thank you so much for the raid and the host, 14 viewers. Hey, thank you so much, appreciate it. Welcome people from Dex Vinyl stream. How was your stream? Hopefully it went well. How are you guys doing? Thanks for the raid, really appreciate it. Really appreciate you being here. And Aster and the one real Mango, thanks for follow, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Just chatting right now about a lot of tech stuff. I think we're all over the board between Kubernetes, K3OS, Docker, servers, possibly Blue Iris, Windows Server 2019. I'm all over the place, but I don't mind it because I have a short attention span sometimes. So it's nice to just bounce around from topic to topic. But yeah, hit me with your questions. You have a question about anything, I'll try to answer it. And if not, I'll find someone who knows the answer. At least I'll try in the limited amount of time on stream that I have to find someone who knows the answer. But yeah, curious what you guys are working on for those that just joined, like tech projects. If not, it's totally cool too. Ailis, I've been automating most of my home lab setup with Ansible with Ansible, actually. I just automated K3OS cluster setup. Nice, nice. Hey, dude, thank you so much. D1, dude, gifted a tier 1 sub to TD5150. Gifted a sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, so, hey, TD5150, thanks. Is that D1T? Yeah, it is the font and my glasses. Dude, thanks. Thanks for gifting one. Appreciate it. So let's see, also at work, oh wait, back here. So Ansible, okay, home lab setup with Ansible actually. I just recently automated K3OS cluster setup. Nice, nice. I know that, I think shortly after I released, I talked about those topics kind of really close to each other. And so a lot of people were excited about possibly automating the two. I haven't, I'll be honest. I haven't automated mine because I'm scared to tear it down. No, I'm not scared to tear it down. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I really appreciate like you going all out and totally creating your cluster. Whoa, hey, div on all, subscribe, Prime, thank you. Wow, thank you. Dude, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the sub. Sorry, I'm kind of lost for words. I just keep saying thank you, but I really mean it. Thank you. Throw one more in there. But awesome, you're getting your K3OS set up, and awesome you're doing with Ansible. I would love for you to share that playbook afterwards. I would love to see it, because if I ever get a do-over with mine, or I ever want to, spin up and, well, I have a dev environment. My dev environment, it sounds so fancy, but it's really my environment for when I do tutorials and stuff like that. But my dev environment should be totally automated with Ansible. That's what I should be doing, because like, I kind of let it sit there, and then after a while, I just destroy it and rebuild it on my own. I should totally automate it for sure. John, at work, and we are getting hit DDoS attacks every other day. So that sucks. Dude, that does suck. That does suck. Let me grab a drink real quick. Yeah, that sucks because it's really hard to defend against that. How do you, what do you have to do? Like what, without revealing too much, but like, how do you prevent that usually? Or how do you stop it from happening? Do you just block that IP, the offender at the firewall level? Obviously it's probably not one. If it's a DDoS, it's probably lots of different ones coming from all over the place. I mean, there are products out there that can help with that, but yeah, curious like what you do when that happens. Cause me, it would be, yeah, I mean, I know what I would do, but I'm curious like how like companies take care of that. Unless this is you at home and someone's just going crazy on your home IP. D1T, laser streams, yeah, you can use GitHub keys. Trying to find my cloud init. I just gave up on K3OS because it limited what I wanted. Yeah, and so I'm not, yeah. So I didn't go with it, and I don't have a laundry list of reasons why, just a handful, but for me, it's easier to manage to a plain old Ubuntu server. I kind of know the lay of the land there. I know how to back it up. I know how to remote in, sync stuff, whatever. I know how to patch it. While K3OS sounds super awesome, and it sounds, like a nice hardened OS. Again, probably something I would do on the edge. In my regular infrastructure, it's different enough to where, well, any OS like that is just different enough to where I got to make a complete different process for everything else. How do I back it up? How do I spin it up? How do I do this? But definitely worth exploring for sure. And like I said, if I ever do K3OS on the edge, yeah, for sure. I'm going to go K3OS and probably etcd, because sounds awesome. Because we're living on the edge, right? Yeah. Sunza, I'm having trouble understanding the difference between bind mounts and volumes. Yeah, so I assume you mean in Docker. I assume you mean in Docker. So bind mounts really are just going to be kind of what it sounds like, maybe not, but it's mounting, it's binding your a folder structure, say like on that node or on that machine to the container. It's actually mounting the file system. And then volumes, I mean, could mean a lot of different things, but there are Docker volumes, and you can create Docker volumes, and then you can mount those Docker volumes to a container as well. But bind mounting should be just as simple as, hey, mapping a folder on the server to a folder, a mountain path within the container. If that makes sense? Did I say the same thing twice? I hope not. Sometimes I say the same thing twice, and I usually when I pull out a vice versa, I usually say the same things twice, so you have to fact check me. But yeah, let me know, Sunza, if you're talking about just it gets a little more complicated if you're talking about Kubernetes and persistent volumes, if that's what you're talking about, and you know what are the difference between bind mounting and a persistent volume, and we could talk about that too. Let me know if that's what you're looking for. Laser streams, change line 2. Okay. Okay, I didn't get that one. Sorry, I was reading the documentation. Coily olio. Oh man, here we go. Olio. There we go. Coily olio. How about that? It doesn't sound. I'm probably just demolishing your name. Let me know. D1T etcd is common in each node if your cluster is set up. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. Oh, etcd is a command in each node. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh yeah, level 1. Yeah, I'll share that. I think. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by like emotes. I usually don't have the chat up like I am now, but I'm trying something a little bit different, so it might look a little bit different to you. It's a little more distracting. Ticano, yeah, you're back. Trying to get into the attic because I have a feeling an antenna may already be installed. Nice, dude. So a little context. I usually know what Ticano's talking about because I have context because I was picking up where he left off probably from last stream or probably in Discord. But he's been helping his mom cut the wire or cut the cable and go into some streaming services, and I think at the same time getting over the air TV through an antenna and then probably converting that to digital and then streaming it some way or recording it somewhere digitally. I hope you find an antenna up there. I found one right up there, right when we moved in. You know, peeked in the attic and I looked at it and it was just this, you know, antenna. Like it took up a quarter of the attic. I'm like, what am I gonna do with that? And then like a month later, I was like, oh yeah, Plex. Run that cable all the way down to my basement and hook up Plex and get over the air TV and record it. It was super awesome. I still do it to this day. I watched recorded TV just 10 minutes ago while I was eating dinner. It's super awesome. Turkaz, I was checking out your guacamole and Docker video and it was very helpful. Thank you. Appreciate the in-depth you go with into stuff. Thanks. Sometimes I feel like I'm too light on stuff, but yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Around 20-minute digestible videos are great for watching it while I work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I try to keep them. If they're over 20, that means it's a really dense topic or I'm packing way too much into it. So I appreciate it. I will mention though, because someone brought this up, that the guacamole Docker container or Docker image that's built by Osnu. I'm gonna go with Osnu this time. No, Onzu. I get it wrong every time. Either way, he deprecated it, and we're trying to figure out why. But have no fear. Someone else already, I think, forked it or took it over. But maybe it was pretty curious. Someone logged a bug about having troubles connecting to RDP, and immediately it was closed and deprecated. The Docker container's still in Docker Hub, but one to watch. Hopefully there's someone who took it over. Hopefully they'll continue to create it and maintain it and add features and fix bugs. But figured I'd mention it because it came up yesterday and you mentioned guacamole now. Anyways, if you set it up, no problem. And if it's in Docker Hub, it should be there forever. But I would check, the last time the container was actually pushed to Docker Hub. If it gets too stale, you might want to look for another one. Clay Crusher, Proxmox is now licensed? ? I don't know. I mean, they have subscription fee. They have different levels of subscriptions. But the Proxmox VE piece that I use, open source, so I don't pay for a subscription. I mean, maybe there's one that you can, but yeah, tell me more. That was a question mark, not a statement. So I don't want to go out and say like, oh yeah, it's licensed now. That was a question, but I don't know. I don't know. There's a subscription and there's all kinds of tiers, but they still have their open source product. Alias. Oh, alias is the correct pronunciation. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know, because I'm putting like my own spin on it, like alias. But yeah, alias. All right, alias. Like it. Thank you so much. NSG Neo. Hey Tim, just came by to say love your videos, man. Thank you. Ola from Portugal. Hey, Ola from Minnesota. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping in and say that. And thanks for watching. Liam, again, 10 push-ups for a follow. Oh gosh. Man, I'd be. Maybe next time. I gotta mentally prepare for that. I gotta mentally prepare for that for sure. Now I could do it. But you know, if we started now, no, I'm not gonna start now. I gotta prepare for it. I should though. I should do something more physical when I get a follow or something, because man, it's you know, COVID. I stand here and work and sit and work and, you know, do this in the evening, so I need some more moving around. Plus, it's like -20 outside. Not that I would have gone outside anyways, but it's great to be able to say, yeah, it's -20, not going outside, because that really doesn't matter anyways, for the most part. Logic. Hey Tim, how do you feel about a vid on recursive DNS? Maybe Unbound. Oh yeah, sure. You know, possibly. I know that Kraft just released, so Kraft Computing, you know, he updated, I think, his older Pi-hole documentation or video, and in there he covers it. And it's a fantastic tutorial. So, yeah, I mean, I would say look at his, for sure, absolutely, because he makes great stuff. Maybe, you know, how does that apply to the Docker version of Pi-hole? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, good idea. Thank you. Yeah, keep throwing them at me. Because even if I don't, you know, it ends up on my backlog, and maybe someday. And, you know, eventually, most documentation gets old, so I'm going to have to recreate stuff anyways. So I could definitely add Unbound to the list, for sure. But thank you. Phantom Way, I made my own Docker images, so I'm using a Rancher. Nice, Phantom Way. I'm a huge fan of that, too. So you know, you probably know this, but maybe other folks don't. I'm a software developer, and I do a lot of infrastructure stuff outside of software. But I do write a lot of my own code, and then I take my own code and I put them inside of a Docker container. Exactly what you're talking about. And you actually said image, and you used the exact right term, and now I'm using the wrong term. But I build custom Docker images, and then I instantiate them, and they become a container. But anyways, super awesome. I'm so glad you did it. It's so rewarding if you write code to put them in a Docker container and then have them run. There's just something, I don't know, magical about it. And to be honest, that's the whole reason why I got into Kubernetes and even Docker, is because I wanted a surefire way to deploy my code to my own infrastructure. And I didn't want to do any kind of like package up a file and, you know, rsync it somewhere and restart services. I was like, no, none of that. Or like .NET deployment services, none of that. You know, I want Docker containers, and the easiest way for me to get Docker containers or run Docker containers for my code was Kubernetes, and that, you know, that's not easy. But that's what kind of forced me to learn it. Ilude. I'm late, but I have good excuse. Hot tub, nice, dude. Nice. How you doing, Ilude? Man, I saw on Discord that you said you got a vacation coming up, 5 days. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it. I will say, try to avoid Ansible and K3OS, because I think you reached your tipping point last time, and I want to, you know, last time you were working on it, so I want to make sure that your vacation is relaxing. But anyways, there's some folks in here who automated it, so maybe they can share for sure. Let's see. Holy Merc. Thank you so much for sharing that, Holy Merc. Whoa, Dexon Love, Aster 6. Whoa, Dexon Love. I love this. A record with a heart on it. Oh man, my headphones don't have a heart on it. I think I got. Yeah, I like it. Dexon Love. I like it. That is a great emote for sure. So good, these emotes. I need to step up my emote game. Dex Vinyl was good. Writing Python, nice. Yeah. So what are you writing in Python? Django? Are you doing front end, back end, just stuff in general? Yeah, let me know. Sorry, I'm just getting to your comment. But yeah, and also appreciate the host and raid for sure. Ian Silent. Ian. Ian, I'm going with Ian Silent. Hey man, I'm working on Pi-hole and OpenVPN trying to get it installed on an edge router. Nice. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I have a buddy of mine who lives down the street. It's funny. Oh, real quick. I know this is kind of tangential to your thing, but it just triggered something. You know how I always am like, yeah, I don't know anyone in person who does what I do. My neighbor, like 3 doors down, 4 doors down, is like, hey, saw your YouTube. That's awesome. I do Pi-hole, and I run WireGuard and Pi-hole on the same server, and he's just started like rattling off all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, we do a lot of the same stuff, so it's a small world anyways. Never would have found him if I wouldn't have created my YouTube channel, and he lives 4 doors down. Anyways, long story short, what you're trying to do with Pi-hole and OpenVPN sounds very similar to what he's trying to do, or has done with WireGuard. But anyways, I hope you figured it out. Are you running into problems? Is that just a statement like, hey, this is what I'm working on? Or is there something you need help with, digging into? I will say it's been a while since I've done OpenVPN stuff, but I'm pretty familiar with Pi-hole. Actually, I just updated Pi-hole, I don't know, just a little bit ago. I patched it and stuff right before the stream because I noticed that Gravity Sync had some bug or some error and it wasn't working right. I don't know, a couple of tangents there, but let me know if I can help with something. 5Angel, saw a vid on MicroOS the other day. Seems OpenSUSE is putting a ton of resources into it, but it seems kind of cool as a base OS to put underneath Containerd. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I don't know about MicroOS. So many OSs, I love it. I love these tiny OSs coming out. Fully automated, autonomous, and atomic. I like it. Atomic updates along with just enough libraries for reduction of surface. Curious if anyone else has dug into it at all. I have not. I'll have to look into it. I'll look into it for sure. So MicroOS, no. It's funny because SUSE. So OpenSUSE is putting a ton of resources into it, and they, obviously bought Rancher. I think they're ramping up. They're ramping up to go against Red Hat. Maybe, I don't know. I'm making this up, but that's their competitor, I think, in this space too. As anyone else doing Linux or anything like that. But no, I haven't done it. Sounds awesome. I love that so many people now are putting so much emphasis on, minimal operating systems or minimal packages or minimal Docker containers, like an Alpine or like a MicroOS or anything like that, because, for many reasons, not just space savings reasons, but like you mentioned, you want to minimize your attack surface. And so you want to, have a smaller vector. And so if you include less stuff with your OS or your Docker container, that's less stuff you'll have to maintain and less stuff that can be or might become a vulnerability. So no, haven't used it, but I like where your head's at with that for sure. Aster 6, yeah. Oh, GS main raid, yeah. These are fantastic. Man, I need to up my game. On my emotes. Andrew, Ryan, I've started heavily researching AI and ML, Forex day trading, with the end goal to set up a day trading bot that is ML backed and hosted in AWS, either ECS or serverless. Nice, yeah, nice. Man, are you going to set some spending limits with that bot? Oh, first of all, before I go on tangents, that sounds really awesome. I've just started to scratch the surface with some AI and ML, and really it was like taking advantage of this, deep learning algorithm that already exists and doing a bunch of detection. And I got a ton of data out, and now I'm like, I have no idea what to do with this data. It's cool, but me personally, I had no idea what to do with it. So you applying that technology to something sounds awesome. Day trading, yeah, sounds awesome. Are you going to put some spending limits on your bot? Yeah, you probably should. But anyways, it sounds super awesome. Sounds fun to work on, but at the same time, super scary. Put a spending limit on that bot for sure. I'm sure you will. If you're, if you're already familiar with day trading and stuff, and already the rules, so the business rules. Now it's just write the code to make the business rules work. But at the same time, with ML, learn from the data it collects and make adjustments along the way. Take that output as a new input and do it all over again. So it sounds really awesome. D1TV, this community has already tolerated more questions than I thought I could ask. Thanks. No, you're totally fine. Ask all the questions you want. Hype heart, yeah, I like it. Limited time emote, I like it. Hopefully you guys got that. That's awesome. Dex Final, Python. Looking for a way to include other Py files in a master script. It's going to get complicated and long if I can't work that out. Yeah, so I wish I could help you there. I mean, I've done a touch of Python, and it's open source. It's in my GitHub. And, you know, I'm very familiar with TypeScript, C#, JavaScript, especially JavaScript. But Python is one where I was just like, you know, I kind of had to like take a step back and think about like, you know, how do I init this thing? How do I add packages? Like all the things I've already learned for other languages and tool sets and tool chains, you know, NPM, Yarn, whatever, NuGet for .NET stuff. I was just like, how do I do this with Python? You know? And so for a long time, like my struggles weren't so much with the language. It was more just the tooling, like you're kind of running into, and I'm sure, you know, I'm sure you figured it out, or you're looking into it, and you know the alternative is just like, you know, make a very long script. But I think it has something to do with the __ dot setup pi __ weirdness. And it's only weird to me because like I'm like Python was new to me when I started. But there is some bootstrapping stuff that goes on in this setup pi that has a bunch of underscores with it. Now I'm just rattling this off without even looking at my own code. And maybe that's not the place to look, but I ran into similar stuff. I had to figure out, you know, how do I pull in my own, you know, scripts or modules from my own repository or my own code base, and then how to do that, you know, same thing with pulling them from pip, I guess. Yeah, I've got a lot to learn, you know, with Python. JavaScript, got that down. TypeScript, got that down. Python, I just need another project that gives me some, you know, more moments where I can like actually write some code and get some stuff running. But you know, I have one that's out there. It's mediocre at best. It does run. I wrote it for Broadlink, and it communicates with some of my IoT devices. Works, but yeah, it was not my finest hour. Works great. But yeah, good luck, man. Dude, let me know. Or point me to a repo or something. I'd love to take a look. Olio. Techno Tim, Ari, pfSense domain not forwarding. Okay, it's the strangest issue, but I'm almost positive it has something to do with firewall rules. Or DNS. Since the domain A record works fine through tracert or traceroute, and all apps work if loading the local IP, it's just trying to load the domain name. It times out at the router level. Interesting. So let me think about this. Since the A record works fine through a traceroute, and all apps work if loading the local IP, just trying to load the domain name, it times out at the router level. So the router, your router, I assume, the first hop, it times out. Yeah, it's got to be. It's not letting, well, I mean, if traceroute times out, that could be a couple of things, like, because I think traceroute, correct me if I'm wrong, uses ICMP, which is like ping, you know, the protocol. So it could be two different things. I mean, try an NS lookup too. Like try a tool that uses a different protocol. So maybe you can rule out protocols, because that might not be the root cause. It just might be, you know, hey, you know, traceroute isn't working, so that protocol, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Try some other tools too to make sure. But yeah, I wish I could help more. But let me know. Try that. Just throwing it out there. Tomb Raid, yeah, I like this. Ari, name pronunciation. Thank you. Koi Oli Olio. All right, Koi Oli Olio. All right, I got it now. Thank you so much, man. So many people, I love it. Tonight, man, I ask for people to help me pronounce the names, and they do it. And most of the time, I don't hear back, so I love it. So Koi Oli Olio. I got it now. Thank you so much. Ilude. Google Python import tutorial. You'll get plenty of results that will sort you out. All right, yeah, import for sure. Div or null? Another null. So many people love null in their name. I love it. Because yeah, null is a great value. It is. It is defined. It is a value. So I like it. Anyways, div null. Thanks for the videos. I recently had to learn K3OS, Kubernetes, and your content has been a lot of help. Thank you. Both for my personal lab as well as for my job. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, div null. No problem. Yeah, I know that You know, if you're doing Kubernetes full time, a lot of my content might seem pretty lighthearted. But if you have no idea what Kubernetes is, or Rancher, or just Kubernetes in general, or even Docker, you know, it could be a lot to take on. So it's hard to find that happy medium. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad it helped you. Hopefully, you know, hopefully it helps more in the workplace too. That's kind of my goal is, and I think a lot of people's goal is to build stuff at home, do stuff at home, maybe for fun, and maybe get to do it at work someday, or vice versa. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. Dex Vinyl, hi Lude. Yeah, it's something that came up at the end of the stream, so it's next bit to do. I'm just hoping I won't have to add all my modules again. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare with long files, which I'm trying to avoid having. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think it's that weird setup file. Anyways, 5Angel. Has Forex bot trading come back into the mainstream? I used to do it a lot on Megadroid, reading back in the day, turned 5K into 48K in the less than 90 days. Then the broker stole all of it. FBI got involved. Woo. Wow, that sounds pretty crazy. One, sounds awesome. Two, doesn't sound awesome that your money got stolen. But man, like if I mean, I'm yeah, I mean, you know, with most windfalls or lotteries, and I'm not saying this is a lottery because there's a lot of research that goes behind this type of stuff as well as some luck. But you know, people always talk about their winnings. Like, did you only invest 5K and then you got 40 back, or was this the one time you got a windfall back like that? Or yeah, could you repeat it? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Interesting though, for sure. On trading, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm always curious. I'm always scared of that stuff. Well, day trading. But yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, Techno tip. I'm talking about Docker. Yes. Okay. Sunza. So let me know if that explanation about container bind mounts versus just Docker volumes made sense. Let me know. Andrew Ryan. Not sure if mainstream. Not sure if it's mainstream, and if it's more of a project to break into AI ML, maybe make a few $100s, or even more if the bot does well. That's right, yeah. ISO, hey, how's it going? Testing Photo Prism, Libre Photos, and a couple of other containers for organizing photos. Nice, I've looked at some of those too. Had a little screw up with Docker Compose, so I ended up using 12 gigs of unused images while deploying a couple of changes to a stack and Portainer. It kept growing for a bit, yeah. Yeah, that can happen for sure. Yeah, and yeah, that stuff can happen with any, you know, with just images in general. When it spawns a new image, the image is 300, 400 meg. Something goes wrong, it gets rid of that one, it spins up another one, and you end up in this loop to where now you have, you know, gigs upon gigs of images that are there that aren't being used, that need to be cleaned out. But yeah, super interesting. I have looked at Libre Photos. There was another one. I think Photo Prism was one of the other ones I looked at. And yeah, let me know which one you choose. I mean, I've looked at them. I don't have a huge, you know, photo collection. I mean, I do, but you know, it's in folders. You know, it's on a file share. But I have some, you know, some ones that I like to show people. It would be nice if I could put them public somewhere. I assume Photo Prism and Libre Photos can do that too. Viking TMG, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Bernice Dog, I think I missed that one, but thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Divernol, did I even call that out? Yeah, I think I did. For the sub, if I didn't, I apologize. I've been talking to you, but anyways, thank you again. Tikfa, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. But you know, I'm also looking for a way to organize not just photos, but also videos. I want an easy way to catalog videos and add metadata to videos. Basically something open source, like what Adobe Bridge does for content. I need to find it, like something I could do locally similar to that. So let me know if you know of anything. And really, this is it's just for like videos I shoot for B-roll. I want to catalog things that are in B-roll, so I can just search all my B-roll and be like, flash drive, and show me all of my B-roll of flash drives. I'm like, boom, there it is. Don't need to film that piece. Or if I'm doing something else or anything like that. But anyways, I know it's not photos, it's still video, but I want an easy way to catalog stuff. Yeah, content for sure. But let me know which one. Photo Prism, Libre Photos. Let me know. Hi, Lude. If you get stuck, join a Discord for sure. Alrighty, yes, text final. He is. Yes, thank you. Alias. This is my home lab Ansible repo. Oh, sorry, it's black. The current K3OS automation is still being polished, but it's on the K3OS HA branch. Nice. Yeah. So Alias, in Discord, we have a community projects channel. I would love for you to share it there. I would love for everyone to share their community projects there in our Discord server, because I love looking at them. And I will for sure star them if they're on GitHub. I will for sure. And if I didn't, let me know. Because I think I love looking at what people are working on and what they're proud of. Hey, Tamon, oh man, the name, I'm so sorry. Timonix, I'm going with that. Timon, man. Thanks for the sub, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Challenger Tech Gaming, dude, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you so much. Timon, I'm going with that, Timon. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, appreciate it. PC Geek, I have 2 antennas in my house, nice. One in the attic, inside, and one on the roof on top, although I think the roof one fell off during a bad storm several years back. I just forgot. or at least most of it fell off. Yeah, it's probably easy. It's probably just like whatever. If it's up there, it's up there. If it's not, it's not. But yeah, it's they don't get used though. Okay, I was gonna say like, yeah, if it's still working, like who cares? If you're getting good reception. Hey, Janorian, dude, thanks for the sub, Prime sub, resub, 5 months, dude. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But thank you. Yeah, I'm you know, one of the few things of analog I enjoy is definitely, you know, I guess digital TV or whatever. I still really enjoy getting over the air TV and recording it digitally with Plex or whatever. I've done it for many years, going all the way back to, you know, Windows XP Media Center Edition. And I think doing something with AverMedia or AverMedia, however you pronounce it, even before XP Media Center Edition had anything out, because AverMedia I think had a card where you could do it too. Anyways, I've always super enjoyed it, and it's probably why I still enjoy my Plex or Media Center too. But I really love over-the-air TV. It's just this free, untapped resource. You know, all you need is an antenna, and I think it's great. And yeah, there are tons of commercials, but you know, you have a media center set up, you can either skip or chop those commercials out. But anyways, I could talk about it all day because I love that stuff. But I hope your antenna's okay. You're not using it, but I hope they're okay. Diverno, Techno Tim question, have you ever run Docker containers using Anycast or eBGP daemon using K3OS? No, I have not. Tell me more about this. I don't know anything about it. So Anycast, I've never heard of it. It sounds like, I'm gonna guess, but you know, like streaming or casting media. I'm making this all up because I have no idea. But no, I haven't. eBGP daemon using K3OS? No, this is all new stuff. No, I want to know more. Tell me more. Let me know. With a TV antenna? Yeah. Oh, I think you're, maybe. I don't know. Sid Cassidy, hey, how's it going? Installed WireGuard in the container, got connected and saw two-way handshake. Nice. But couldn't browse to my phone. Had to do some troubleshooting when I get home. Keep up the good work. Yeah, nice. I wish I could help you. That's awesome. You got it running in a container, but you couldn't browse on your phone. So that tells me something about DNS. Like when you're connected to WireGuard inside of that container, it can't resolve any domain names. Either that or it's either DNS, which it usually is, or something with the gateway. It doesn't know how to get out to communicate with outside of that container. But awesome. Yeah, let me know. 5Angel. That's pretty easy. Fix and remove license nag on Proxmox, but I haven't figured out that Proxmox backup server. Wait, there's a pretty easy fix to remove the licensing nag on Proxmox, but I haven't figured that out on the Proxmox. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the licensing nag, I totally agree. There's an easy way to do it. I don't know if it comes back after updates or not. I don't know. I usually don't. I've clicked that OK like 1,000 times. I'm just kind of like, whatever. It does get annoying though when you go and refresh your packages and it's right back and you're like, get out of here. I just said OK. Anyways, Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know how to remove it on Proxmox backup server either. No, I don't know. But yeah, someone earlier was saying something about it's licensed now or something. I'm not sure. And maybe they're just confusing the, the subscription reminder nag screen for licensing. But yeah. Clay Crusher. I was getting ready to load Proxmox on my new home lab server, but I was hearing that it prompts a license key now. I don't know if you heard of that. Hey, well, there's the follow-up question, or the follow-up question to that. No, no. So I never heard of that. I mean, I've been running Proxmox for a long time. What 5-angle? I said Angel earlier. What 5-angle was talking about earlier was just the nag screen, just saying like, hey, you don't have a subscription, you should probably get one, and then you could just hit OK. I've never seen a prompt for a license key. No. To me, that says like either you had a license at one point, or you had a subscription at one point and now it's gone, or you modified some file and they think you had a subscription before, or yeah, I couldn't tell you. But the nag screen is just the nag screen. It's not like, it's just saying like, hey, you don't have a subscription, just a reminder. At least unless there's something else. I noticed there was a load of updates for Proxmox yesterday. Some really funny named ones too, like magic number and stuff. Like it caught my eye when I was updating and it was like magic number, and I was like, I know what a magic string is. In coding, you have magic strings. They're just these random unique strings that you can that you don't want to use. That's why they're magic, because you got to know them for them to work. But I was like, what's a magic number? And do I want that on Proxmox? And I was just like, okay, update. I want magic numbers. Anyways, that was probably the package name. Carlos Bueno. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. PC Geek. It prompts each time. It's just reminding you don't have a support subscription. Yeah, still works fully and full functional. Just gets annoying. Yeah. You also have to enable the not for production app repo and updates. Yeah, for sure. D1T, what stack do you use when you code? Yes. Really? We're going to talk about code stuff. No. So what stack do I use? Me personally, JavaScript, Node, TypeScript. I mean, I can talk about my stack all the way down, but it's usually Node everywhere, Node.js. And I've chosen that for a couple of reasons. But when I program locally, I use VS Code. Doesn't matter your editor. But I write ES6, runs on Node. I run my stuff in Node containers. And I do backend, front end, both in Node.js, all in JavaScript. That's pretty boring. Sounds boring. But, I don't mind boring because it helps me move fast. And so, one of my, I guess one of the biggest reasons why I mean, I've done other languages too, right? And so I should say, like, I haven't only done JavaScript. I've done .NET, C#, VB, I've done Java, I've done Kotlin, I've done, about 20 hours of Python now after my last repo I created. But I keep going back to JavaScript and TypeScript, but mostly JavaScript because I can move really fast and I can write it in the front end, back end, middle tier, anywhere. And then I use MongoDB for my databases, which is, arguably, it's not really JavaScript, but, things are stored as JSON. And so it's really easy to use. And, the filters and the way you cursor through data is very similar to the way you do it in the rest of JavaScript. So I get to use a lot of the same tools everywhere. And so is it the best tool for the job all the time? No. Are there things more performant? Sure. Are there things newer? Sure. But I can bootstrap a project, in 5-10 minutes and get something running in a browser, 5 minutes and start working on, things that I want to work on, So sometimes, I pick it because I feel like I'm defending it right now. It's actually really awesome. I feel like I'm defending JavaScript and it's actually super awesome, and it's kind of polarizing to some people because it's not strongly typed, right? It's a loosely typed language because there are very few primitives, right? Very few primitives, I guess I should say. And so a lot of language have, they have types, they have type safety, and you have to compile them. That's where TypeScript comes in. So I do feel like I'm defending it, and I'm not, because it's really awesome. I should be like, yeah, use JavaScript. But, everyone, picks a language they like to use. I've I keep using it because I can move really, really fast. And the ecosystem that's out there and all of the communities that are out there that build these tools, I mean, they're going strong and they just keep getting bigger. So, I mean, very similar to Python too. Very similar. But anyways, yeah, good question. Good question. Why am I defending JavaScript right now? I think it's awesome. Impressive. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Yes. Clay Crusher. Also maybe a video about testing Pi-hole with persistent storage to see if HA will work better than Gravity Sync. Just wanted to hear your thoughts. Yeah, that one's tough. That one's tough. I'll say that one's tough. Like a lot of people want to get, high availability on Docker containers that weren't built to support multiple instances to run. And even though you can read and write from the same storage, doesn't always mean it's gonna play nicely, And so what can I compare this to? So I always say, like, hey, the container needs to support concurrency or parallelism or whatever you want. And that might be a little bit too, I don't know. People might not understand that. So I've been trying to search for like an analogy or something, a metaphor that I can refer to. But, that container needs to be able to understand. So one, the container either needs to not get its state from itself, not read or write into, a storage location, or it needs to be aware that other containers that are out there could be reading and writing at the same time. And so there has to be some kind of broker, some way to remediate those tasks. So maybe they don't happen twice, or maybe they don't happen at all. And so, I mean, if you think about it, you can't do this. Just like say you had, two computers writing to the same hard drive. This is like probably a bad metaphor because I can't think of one. Oh, this is a simile. But, if you had two computers writing to one hard drive, things are going to go wrong. Things are going to go bad, and things are not going to work. And so that's what you'll find with some Docker containers, because they think that they're the only ones that exist. They think they have exclusive access to this disk, that they're reading and writing data, and that nothing else is happening. And so if you take two containers and point them at the same thing, maybe even if it's only read, it may not work. And so anyways, it's a long spiel about, like, you have to make sure that container can handle those types of things. Will Pi-hole? I'm not entirely sure. I think you'll have to roll the dice and say, whether it will or not. And, just because the UI works and stuff, who knows what's going on underneath. I'm sure some people have figured it out. Maybe everything's fine and I'm just worrying for nothing. But I will say, though, that I do hope, so while we're on the topic of that, I just hope Pi-hole starts to support it soon. And I get it that that's probably not a ton of, their core product is to block DNS, right? Block DNS entries. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Just block from a list. And they've been slowly adding features like, local DNS, which I use. Aliases, so CNAMEs, which I use, which is awesome. And they keep adding all these awesome features. I just wish they would add, just a feature to be able to sync between the two. And I know Gravity Sync does that, but I feel like that's a gap solution that just helps people deal with Pi-hole not really doing that. So I really hope Pi-hole looks into it, and I hope there's first-class support for this, so we can do things like HA and not have to worry about, like, is it really going to work? Anyways, man, that was a lot. So Clay Crusher. I would say, yeah, give it a shot. I know that there are a lot of how-tos out there. I've Googled it before for Pi-hole HA, and that's how I stumbled on Gravity Sync, and that's how I ended up settling on Gravity Sync, because I wasn't 100% happy with the way that some of them were doing it. The ones that I saw that were successful that ran it in Kubernetes were like, this is read-only. They totally threw out the whole, the parts of the UI or updating the UI or adding local entries or updating it. They were just like, nope, static list, run. I don't care about the UI, go. And so and while those will work, I mean, they're still not giving you, the feature set and all the functionality that you have from one Pi-hole server. So anyways, maybe there's something new, but I've been on a quest too to get that working the best way possible, and so far it's been Gravity Sync. But you know, that comes with a caveat that you have to have that, you know, that script running on each node or the host. And so, anyways, let me know. PC Geek, it's been done. Until Pi-hole makes a flexible backend for their service that will allow HA and support it, we're kind of stuck with the sync method. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure, man. Cool. There wasn't any ML bot stuff when I did in circa 2011. All right. Love that. Thanks, man. Yeah, this was my full-time hat for a long time. Yeah, this is well, it's funny. Did I get? Yeah, I got this. Same buddy who all my other hats are from. I've said this a few times. Like, here's the normal hat. This is what I was gonna wear, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna switch it up because this is the one I wear every winter. I've had it for years, just like all the other hats. But anyways, a buddy of mine designs hats, and so when I used to go to his house during the normal days, he would just have this whole closet, and he's like, yeah, pick out some hats you want. So he would actually load me up, and I would have to give some back. But anyways, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, had it for many years. I just love it. Gets kind of warm. Well, it's not warm because it's cold, but it can if you do it indoors. But I'm okay with hats indoors. Bernice Dog, howdy, how's it going? Home lab new, apartment rent prices in London have fallen super far. I'll finally be able to live there. Nice. Dex Vinyl, I'm a vinyl addict. Nice. Bit of both, to be honest. Writing a vinyl catalog website that pulls info from Discogs. Nice, dude. Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. Sweet, dude. Yeah, that's why your emoji was vinyl with a heart. Ian Silent. Well, I launched instance on AWS, OpenVPN DNS forwarded to Pi-hole. So when I launch the VPN, ads are being blocked. Nice. I'm looking for a good tutorial to make an Edge router client, not finding a good tutorial. Yeah, I wish I could help you. PC Geek, I've always heard SUSE pronounced Susie. Yeah, I hear the opposite. I used to say it in my head like, there's another one. Just like my last video, how do you pronounce Ubuntu? Like, I always heard, I used to say SUSE, and then someone told me it's SUSE. So, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. Yeah. My last video, I asked people how you pronounce it. I saw so many great pronunciations, and some of them were so great. They were like, yeah, you want to know how I pronounce Ubuntu? Arch Linux. And I was like, oh, these are so rich, so rich. I love a good troll in a comment as long as it's funny. But anyways, I heard it both ways, and so I pronounced it the last way I heard someone told me. So you tell me. Convince me I'm wrong. Colio. Techno Tim, I think your perspective on virtualized gaming rigs seems pretty unique. I have to revisit your video on that, but I was wondering if you have an insight on a different remote technologies, RDP, Parsec, No Machine, etc. I played with, so in my remote gaming video, really that was a proof of work to show you that it's possible, that you can pass through a GPU, right? That it works. And how do I know it works? Well, because you're playing a game over RDP. And so I don't want that to be like, yes, RDP is the answer, because I think you're touching on some of the other alternatives that are out there. So Parsec is fantastic. I mean, a lot of people say Parsec's the way to go. I haven't played games remotely enough to know the answer to that, but I know it's definitely better than RDP. Just the technology and how it actually captures and sends that data. Like don't get me wrong, RDP is so fantastic for normal kind of business type of work. But when you start getting into 3D rendering and lots of particles moving, that's where it kind of breaks down, because I think it does blocks at a time or something. I don't know the tech behind it, but I know that Parsec is super good. And then there are some other ones that are out there that I haven't tried. But I will say that like people are super pleased with Parsec. I mean, Parsec's all over that video. People are just like Parsec. And I was like, yeah, I get it. This was just proof of work. And so some people, saw me do it and they're like, RDP, why is he doing RDP? But it was proof of work that, hey, you can pass a video card to a virtual machine and play a game. How you remote into that is up to you, for sure. But yeah, for sure. Hypergravity, all right. RDP is a no-go for remote 3D anything. Yeah, it uses RDP display driver and not the GPU. Oh, interesting. Maybe Not for me. Not for me, because when I opened up the, I mean, you could see the video card is in use. And maybe I'm wrong, but you could see that the NVIDIA video card is running and you can actually change the settings on it. But anyways, there are way more better clients and protocols than RDP, right? Because RDP wasn't meant to be a remote gaming protocol. Andrew, for sure, my bot, I'm gonna put the starting limit and take it out. I'm just gonna have to play with the house money, yeah, for sure. Final question for now. You're doing great. Thanks for your hard work. Hey, thanks, Coliolio. I'm going with that. Coliolio. Sid Cassidy, does anyone know of a Docker container for Android emulation? Nice, yeah. 5-Angle, yeah. Pip is annoying for those of us who come from traditional tools, yeah. But going back to Cassidy, I don't. Let me know. I would love a Docker build container for Android too, and I would love Google to support it firsthand, so I don't have to do. And while we're on that, I would like Apple to create one too for Xcode, because I'm tired of building on a real Mac, but they're not going to do that. Dex Vinyl, only been doing Python for 3 weeks. This thing is my default project for learning a language. Nice. Ian, my other project is to do a site VPN for an edge router in AWS. Nice. Do videos on IPsec and edge router. Nice, cool. There are YouTube. Yeah, for sure. D1 TV. Well, tearing it all down. I have learned so much in 5 minutes. D1. Did you learn that you didn't want to use it anymore? I think that's what that sounded like. Dex Final. I will DM you on Discord if you like. I'll link to the GitHub. I'll have to add you as a contributor. Whoa, a lot of, all right. Yeah, a lot of trust handed over there. You know I wouldn't do anything wrong. But anyways, yeah, I mean, or post it in Discord in our community projects. Yeah, for sure. Take a look at it. Maybe he's talking to iLoad. He's like, I don't trust that Tim. Yeah, I trust iLoad. I would totally trust iLoad too, for sure. Dex Final, it's a private repo at the moment. All right. Challenger Tech Gaming. I have a question. I bought a Xeon server that was used for $100, and I plan to upgrade it to a 16 cores, 128 gig DDR3 RAM, and have an NVIDIA Quadro P1000. While making a Plex VM and passing a Quadro to it work fine, and have a Minecraft server working on another VM in Proxmox. Yeah, so a lot of questions going on there. I will say that so Challenger Tech Gaming, if you are there, yes, but individually. So you're making a Plex VM and then a Minecraft server on another VM. And so you won't be able to pass that card through to multiple VMs. And so, but you're in a good spot because I know a way to do it. And you chose 2 great containers. So this might be a good, good introduction for you to containerization with Docker. And so, with your Quadro, you're not going to be able to share that with multiple virtual machines. It's just one-to-one. That's how it works. Because it doesn't support SRIOV, I think it is. But anyways, that's the tech's not important. It's that they're one-to-one. But if you're using Docker containers, you can spin up as many Docker containers as you want that can then take advantage of that GPU. And so that's what I do. That's what I do because, while it's not, you have a Quadro, so you have, I think, an unlimited amount of streams that it can open up with a Quadro or near unlimited. You should be able to do that just fine, but you won't be able to do it with VMs. I mean, you could do it with one VM, but not 2. Or, I mean, if you really want to use VMs, you'll have to install, Minecraft and Plex on the same VM. Because you can't pass that GPU through to multiple VMs, or you can't share it. Should work pretty well. Oh, I didn't think that. Contradictory. Pass-through will be the trickiest hurdle. You'll only be using it for Plex. I would do it Docker. Yeah, so PC Geek, you can't pass it through to multiple. No, you'd have to do it one-on-one. So, what I said earlier. Challenger Tech Gaming, probably use Docker unless you're going to install them both on the same VM. Otherwise, but I will say, I know that people are gung-ho about Plex transcoding. And I state something that's maybe not so obvious, is that most modern devices don't need Plex transcoding at all. And so I know, and so if you are thinking about it, I would think about how many devices you're going to stream to. Most of those devices, if they're modern devices, they might not need transcoding at all because they support direct stream. If you think of things like your TV, your Xbox, your PlayStation, your mobile device, most of them don't need Plex transcoding, and they support direct stream. Only if you want to save some bandwidth or you're sending it to a device that doesn't support direct stream, then the transcoder is going to take over. So anyways, long story short, you may not need transcoding. It's definitely very efficient if it's there and you need it, but you'd be surprised at how many devices actually use it. Because I had it on my Plex and I was like, yes, this is awesome. And then, I'm launching every device possible, even browsers. They all support direct stream. So I'm like, oh man, it's not even using the GPU. But yeah. Anyways, let's see. Coliolio, thanks, Tim. I've checked NS lookup as well, even loading the browser, clean cache, times out. Through Wi-Fi, LAN, mobile, I will troubleshoot and report back. Yeah, let me know. PC Geek, don't bother with Windows for Plex install. Pass through the Linux is much easier due to the code 43 you get on Windows. Yeah. Sunza, yes, that explanation helped. The only question left is, do the file path have to be on the same host, or can it be from a NAS? Yeah. Does it have to be? No. And if it's not, so I've done it like that before. With, speaking of Plex, is, in the node, in the virtual machine, you mount all of those NFS shares or Samba shares or whatever they are to a path on disk, and then you mount that path to the Docker container. So no, they can absolutely be remote. Yeah, for sure. You can also put Minecraft on the same Docker host. Yeah, for sure. That's what I was saying. Go Docker, because you won't be able to get two virtual machines to share. Challenger Tech Gaming, well, I have no knowledge in Docker other than that it will be kernel specific. I also want to be able to run Windows in a VM for other things, so I choose Proxmox because it's free. Yeah, and so, just going back to what we were talking about earlier, you won't be able to share that card. Moral of the story. So your first question asking about using it for multiple VMs, you won't be able to. It's going to be one-to-one. And so that's why people are suggesting either put them in the same virtual machine or use Docker. But then if you're going to use Windows, then that kind of, Windows plus some other virtual machine with Docker containers, you're still limited to one. So yeah, darn technology, or I don't know who's to blame. Maybe it's maybe NVIDIA. I don't know. iLoot feels like channel points are slower tonight. Does Tim know that the Viking RGB element is inevitable, so he slowed the earn rate? No, I haven't touched it. So Twitch has an algorithm. I said sure, use the algorithm on Twitch on Twitch points. So no, I didn't do anything. I promise. Oh man, he will definitely bring up the eBGP and Anycast IP conversation to your Discord. All right, Coliolio, if you enjoy self-hosted media setups, do you know of perfectmediaserver.com? Absolutely I do. Yeah, absolutely I do. Yeah, it's I do. Absolutely. I've seen it. Someone pointed out in our Discord, and yeah, I pretty awesome. Gamer Boy Minecraft. Oh, there's a lot going on there. Minecraft Syrian. Hello, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Recently switched to Node to Next.js, and I'm really enjoying it so far for web development. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. A lot of people, talk about Next.js a lot. Haven't done any of it for sure. Divernal, trying to advertise my Anycast IPs from inside the container so I can deploy globally from the Anycast container. I need to run SOCAT to terminate forward TCP traffic in a single public IP. Yeah. I'm not sure. Gravity Sync has run flawlessly for Mew. Yeah, me too, up until some last update. So you might want to check, because I did it right before the stream. I think the latest Pi-hole update must have broke something in Gravity Sync. I'm just speculating, because my stuff wasn't syncing, which had me look into Gravity Sync, and I saw they had a pull request 2 days ago, or maybe it was 2 hours ago, and I updated and it started working. So anyways, I think there was a Pi-hole update that might have had some conflicts with Gravity Sync. So if you're running it and you've updated Pi-hole, you might want to update Gravity Sync. It's my PSA. PC Geek, it is really silly too, because Pi-hole install asks if you want a web UI. Yep, it's been It's been made to run on one backend only. Yeah, for sure. I have mine set up with a daily rsync and keep alive D for share IP that I can point to clients for DNS. The web UI works on that IP as well. If one goes down, yeah, for sure. So I think they were messing with you and saying, this is so say. Suse, yeah. Suse. No, I don't think so. I hear it like that. 5-angle. Back in the day, I set up multiple Windows servers on the same SCSI bus, iSCSI bus, I assume, or SCSI bus to run Windows cluster servers so they access the same drives at the same time. All right, and even when they are made to work like that, when it goes bad, it got really bad. Like Tim said, no way for Pi-hole HA until they redesign the atomic access persistent storage. Yeah, and I don't want to point any fingers, but yeah, it just needs to be. I think what PC Geek is mentioning, they have a front end, they have a back end, and they're meant to be one-to-one, and it would be awesome if they separated those two. I probably understand why they don't, but separate those two and then run lots of the back ends or run lots of the front ends. But yeah, would be awesome. D1T, I didn't give up, just trying the opposite, even deeper into the hole, trying to boot with cloud in it. All right, 5-angle. You should do a vid on Nut server. Yeah, running your RPI and informing all your servers. It's annoying as, yeah, LOL. Yeah, I'm familiar, but I need to get to it. It's definitely on my short list, for sure. Challenger Tech Gaming, well, I want the card to go on one VM. All right, if you want it in one, then yeah, one VM, totally fine. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, I've done it Linux and Windows. Got videos on both. I've done it Linux, Windows, and I've done Linux and then Docker on Proxmox. So yeah, it totally works. It's totally fine. You just got to be okay with it not working like many times. And I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but there's a lot that goes into it. And so yeah, check my guide because there's no easy way other than just rolling up your sleeves and doing all of the steps and then hoping it works and then checking all the steps to make sure it works. Your videos are not entry level. Thanks to them, I'm running Discord with a UI and Docker container using X11 server, also running in the container and Windows 10 Docker host. Nice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't. I get. Maybe entry level is the wrong choice of words. I just mean if someone's like a seasoned vet, on Kubernetes, they're probably just like, who is this guy talking about? Like, why do I need a UI to Kubernetes? I don't know. That's me in my head assuming someone who's like a Kubernetes expert, like looking at my stuff, and so but appreciate it. I know they're dense topics, especially if you haven't done it before. I guess my comment about it being intro was like, if you've done a lot of it, now you're probably like, oh, what the heck? But awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Challenger Tech Gaming, I just want to use the Quadro for transcoding. All right. Yeah. He wasn't asking to pass it through to more than one VM. PC Geek, yeah, he was. Let's see. I have a question. I bought a Xeon server that's $100. Will making a Plex VM and passing the Quadro to it work fine, and having a Minecraft server working on another VM on Proxmox? Looks like 2 to me. So anyways, let's see. I'm still new to multiple VMs. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, it's gonna be 1-to-1. Carlos Bueno, I have a problem on my Pi-hole deployment. It exposes the admin panel on the node's internal IP addresses and not the host IP. Have anyone here been through this? The deployment's like this. Pi-hole on Rancher that is running on Docker that is running on Ubuntu server. I followed your video on how to do it, but I wasn't able to make it work. I guess the container gods don't like me. Wow, there's a lot going on in here. So I have a problem on my Pi-hole deployment. It exposes the admin panel on the node's internal IP, okay, and not on the host's IP. Have anyone been able? And this is, I assume this is with Kubernetes, and I assume you just need to do some port mapping properly. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, maybe. This one's tough because it's, yeah. So it could be a lot of things. I would double check the node's internal IP address. So the node's internal IP address, I would look at your port mapping. I would look at your port mapping and make sure it matches properly, because that's what it sounds like to me. And then, you know, are you exposing on the host port or the node port? It sounds like those might be mixed up, but let me know. Challenger King. So I'm going to take it that just using 2 GB Quadro would be better than spending money on the 4. Yeah, what iLoot's saying. And how many streams do you want to encode? Yeah, for sure. And like I said about Plex transcoding, you'd be surprised how many modern devices don't need it at all. So yeah, I honestly think it's awesome. That's everyone's #1 use case. It looks like, you know, most of the time for home labs, but you'd be surprised at how many devices. It's until you get into like low power tablets, or if you're doing the stream like through the internet to a device that actually wants to, you know, transcode or downscale the quality of the video. Handbrake, yeah, transcoding, yeah, for sure. Sweet, I'm gonna have to go take a look then. Nice. Oh, lots of little comments. Plex has built-in optimized too. Yeah, FFmpeg under the hood. Handbrake, natively supported by Linux. Yeah, it is. I love Handbrake. Yeah, it is found. Oh yeah, there's so many little comments in here. Thank you. I sense the end is near, but the fun continues on our Discord server. Yeah, it is for sure. It is for sure. The end is near, and you did call it. Man, good timing too. Let me get to these last couple of things. All right, thank you for the help there. You're doing fine, Challenger Tech Gaming. Oh, if I could learn German, I'd probably be better. I don't know how German applies. Hey, watching my bad English on the stream makes me laugh. Hey, that's all right. I use terrible English too. Anyways, hey guys, thank you so much for joining tonight. Thanks for chatting. Man, thanks for hanging out. Stream went longer than I thought. Like, time really flew by, so I appreciate it. It means we're having a good time. Thanks for being here. There were lots of follows, there were lots of subs, so I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you want to continue the conversation, I know that everyone's been posting the Discord link, but I'll say it again. If you want to continue the conversation in Discord, absolutely do. Please join. I would love for you to join. If not, totally fine too. I'll be here again some other time, probably on Saturday. But I do appreciate you joining. Thank you everyone for chiming in, for helping others, and yeah, just for being here. Have a good night. I will see you, and be good to each other. Take care.